Hello, everyone, and welcome to your November predictions for the 12 zodiac signs. So do look at your rising sign, sun sign, moon sign. I can't wait to be diving into the month of November. Sophie, how are you feeling about your favorite season of the year, Scorpio season?
I love Scorpio season. I'm feeling optimistic about November. I hope it's going to calm down the craziness that we had. That's my goal. That's my hope. No, okay.
Well, I was going to say it is going to be an eventful month. We have many, many things happening during the month of November. Not necessarily bad or good, just neutral, but there's a lot going on. So we have, especially for the signs of Scorpio, or if you have like major placements in Scorpio, Sagittarius, Taurus, it's going to be very eventful. I know your moon is in Taurus, so I have a stellium in Sagittarius, so we're going to be under the spotlight of transformation as you all. So every sign, of course, is going to be feeling a lot the month of November, but especially those three. And I feel like Uranus is going to be probably one of the big stars of the show for the month of November. So Uranus is a planet of surprises, shifts, sudden revelations, shocks even. So there's going to be a lot about like surprises, unexpected events, and we have a Mercury retrograde for almost all of the month. And that's not bad. We're going to give away a lot of ways that you can really use this in your favor, but it's important, I guess, to be aware of it so that you can flow with the current of the energies instead of going against the current, which is always more difficult. And we're going to talk about the full moon in Taurus, the new moon in Scorpio, and a lot of planets moving, changing directions during the month of November. So just before we dive into the predictions for the 12 zodiac sign, we're going to start with the important dates. And then Sophie is going to read for what are the general energies for the month of November for all of us. And then we're going to talk about our giveaway winner for the month of November, celebrating their birthday, and then shift into the sign-by-sign predictions with the timestamps below. But just before we do so, do make sure you hit the like button. It really helps support the channel. So thank you for all of you that are here watching the show, supporting the channel by any way you can. And of course, subscribing is one of our favorite languages of love, and the likes too. So thank you for being here. And also we are simulcasting on our Rumble channel. Yeah, let's look at the important dates and then we'll do the reading. Okay. I see you nodding your head, so I'm like, let's do it. So let's start. Let's start with the important dates. So we have a lot in the month of November. Let's start first on November 5th. We have the full moon in the sign of Taurus, and I put a lightning bolt because we have a Mars-Uranus opposition at the time of this full moon in Taurus. So there's a lot of that Uranian activity or surprises that I was talking about earlier. There is this element of surprise. It's going to be a lot about relationships because Venus is going to make a lot of important aspects during this full moon. So it's part of two T-squares in the sky, not just one, but two. And it's the point of a yod. So a yod is like the aspect in astrology that we call the finger of God, pointing in a direction. And the direction it's pointing at is Venus. And Venus is a planet of money and relationships. So there's going to be likely lots of decisions to make around those themes of money and relationships. So we're going to talk about it for all the 12 zodiac signs, but this is generally what's going to happen. And then on the 7th, Uranus retrograde re-enters the sign of Taurus. So there are going to be major shifts there, and it's going to be the last time that we have this transit, probably in our lifetimes, because Uranus takes about 80 years to go through the zodiac. And in Taurus, it's a fixed Earth sign, so there is going to be a lot of surprises there. And especially for people who are Aquarius or have major placement in Aquarius or Taurus. And then on November 9th, we have the long-awaited Mercury retrograde. And yes, we're already feeling the energies of Mercury retrograde since we're in the pre-shadow as we speak. And Mercury will retrograde into the first degrees of Sagittarius. So do check your own birth chart to see what houses the Mercury retrograde is going to transit for you. So what houses are going to be under review, but we're going to talk about that with the 12 zodiac signs later on. So from 6 degrees Sagittarius until 20 degrees Scorpio is where you're going to be looking at for this retrograde. So it's going to be from November 9th until November 29th. So basically all month of November. And then on the 11th of the 11th, we have the 11/11 portal, which is very magical. And this year it coincides with also Jupiter moving retrograde into the sign of Cancer. So the signs that are going to be feeling this the most are, of course, Cancer, because it's going to be retrograde in your sign, and the signs that are ruled by Jupiter, so Sagittarius and Pisces. And then the next date I want to point to is the 18th of November, where Mercury retrograde is going to enter Scorpio. So then this Mercury retrograde experience is going to shift to scorpionic themes. So maybe a more introspection, transformation, therapy, but also themes of money, of mutual funds, of financial strategies. So I think this is going to be where the month is going to take a more financial shift. And then the 20th of November, we have a new moon in Scorpio directly opposing Uranus. So yes, the bringer of many surprises. And on the 27th, we have Saturn moving direct in Pisces, but still Saturn is going to stay in Pisces until the beginning of next year. And then on the 29th, Mercury goes direct. Lots and lots of movement. So, okay, here we are. So let's look at the cards, shall we, Sophie? To see what are going to be the major energies for everyone.
Okay, so let's see for this month. The collective, okay, we have it. Okay, we have two that fell, so let's take them. The very first one is number 32. It says live your life. And then we have number 35, open your mind. You have infinite possibilities. So that's very interesting. That combination seems to be very much about just open up your mind, explore, go for it. I think with the mind, it's also very Mercury related with this card more specifically. So I think that it's about making plans for the future, maybe making plans for revisiting your life, what you want to change, what you want to review. We know that during Mercury retrograde, we have a lot of reviewing and just adjustments. So let's see a little bit more about those topics for the month with tarot.
And it's interesting because I have said earlier that this Mercury retrograde at first is in Sagittarius, which is not a sign where Mercury feels comfortable. And I said, like, we have to be prepared to change our minds on things. So open up, be open-minded enough to be willing to change our opinion and our perspective on many different things. So that makes sense.
Absolutely. So the very first card is a major arcana, the Death card. It is Scorpio season. So it feels like with the card of Live Your Life, you may finally make a big, bold move, big decisions in your life. We know that it's Mercury retrograde, but if it's something that you started in the past and now you're starting to plan again, you're trying to revisit, this is the time to really do it. Apparently with the month of November. We have the King of Cups, very interesting. So see where you want to bring more of happiness, maybe more of healing, maybe more of love in your life. And we have the Two of Pentacles. So with this, I think that it's a big review of your life to just see where you're satisfied, where you're not satisfied, where you can bring more. But this is a big, bold move kind of moment where it's about, okay, I'm done living my life for others. I am done doing it a certain way just because it felt safe or just because other wanted it to be. And now it's my life and I'm doing what I want with it. And it says, open your mind, you have infinite possibilities. So it could be just a big brainstorming for some of us to see what we really want to bring in. And again, opening up our mind to what can be. Maybe we didn't because we thought that we were stuck or that was the way it's going to be. But now it's about, how can I bring more? I'm not stuck. I'm not a victim. I'm in charge and this is my life.
I like that big, bold energy of making different decisions to honor ourselves, basically. So this one, yes, there's still a few days left to our Scorpio season promo. It's ending on the 26th. So 2 days from now on Sunday at midnight Eastern time. And it's a very popular one. So do make sure you jump on the occasion if you're looking for a reading with Sophie. And Sophie is going to be able to answer all of your questions that you can put on the box when you book the reading. So we have a 20% off. It was a flash promo, which is going to be the last savings on consultations for 2025. So do make sure you take advantage of that promo. We don't do them very often. So when we do, people are very happy and the bookings are going very well. So Sophie, anything that you can help people with during this 30-minute tarot reading?
So normally I would say it could be about anything that you really want, but there is this Scorpio season that we cannot ignore. We are in a year number 9. So if you have anything that you would like to understand to bring closure, any type of situation that you really want to see if there's potential before you leave it behind, any understanding from your past life that you want to bring, any gift that you want to awaken through understanding of what could be, which I don't want to say what could be your mission, but if you want to see what, if you're on the right path for your mission, this is the right reading for you.
Awesome. And for this one specifically, we don't have any promo code needed. The price is already discounted when you're going to see it on the website. The link is down below if you're interested. So again, 2 more days to take advantage of the big promo we're doing here. And if you would prefer a live appointment, the other one is a video that's being sent to you. So if you prefer the 1-hour live appointment, we have the tarot reading with Sophie and the past lives reading. And for those, you're going to need the discount code, which is Jupiter, to get 10% off. And also put the link down below if you're interested to book with Sophie. Awesome. So time to reveal our giveaway winner. So, and we talk a lot about Scorpio, but towards the end of the month, it's also going to be Sagittarius season. So a very happy birthday and solar return to Scorpios and Sagittarius sun celebrating their birthday during the month of November. I can't believe we're already talking about November. This is like, woo. Okay, and yes, I wanted to show this. So drum roll, and every month we select a birthday winner from the community. So do make sure you join. This is free to join, and we do giveaways every month. So our winner for this month is Tessa Johnson. So a very, very happy solar return to you, Tessa Johnson. She says, happy solar return to all my fellow Scorpios. Mine is November 7th. I am intending to create a new series of art pieces based on energy color visions I have had. Put color to form and integrate my subconscious ideas with my conscious ideas. So it sounds amazing. Very cool creative project. So we are sending all our love to you, Tessa. And Tessa, you are our giveaway winner for this one right here. So this is the workshop that Sophie created, which is very timely for Scorpio season. It's the cord cutting, purification, and protection workshop. So Tessa, just send me a message, an email, or a message message on the community, and I'll make sure this is added to your library. All right, so I think we are ready to start. Are you, Sophie?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna start, of course, with our beautiful Aries. So Aries, I have 3 important dates for you. So of course, this is for Aries sun, moon, or rising. Let's start with November 5th. So on November 5th, we're going to have a full moon in the sign of Taurus, which is going to be activating your second house of finances and resources. And plus, your planet Mars is going to make a direct opposition to Uranus. So Mars and Uranus together, especially in opposition, it's kind of this energy of suddenly cutting something off from your life, cutting off situations, relationships, communication, people, or just a certain energy that you're done with in your life. You can also get like very surprising news from other people with that Uranus opposing yourself, opposing Mars. Different shifts that are also maybe started by other people. You can also get financial results of past actions because it's in your house of finances, resources. And also, you're going to have an opportunity to heal relationship and financial imbalances within relationships. So this full moon in Taurus is meant to be a revealer of what kind of imbalances could be there. And it's also an opportunity for you to do something to rebalance everything. So balancing giving and receiving, and also balancing inner life versus outer material life. And then the second date I have for you is November 9th. Mercury retrograde is going to activate your 9th house and your 8th house. So first, when it's in your 9th house, in the first part, so November 9th until, let's say, mid-November, and then the second part is going to be until November 29th. For the first part, you're going to need to review issues and mistakes of the past regarding international matters, legal documents, legal matters, anything that deals with travels, the international foreigners. So that's going to be the first major theme. And also looking at outdated beliefs. So the 9th house is very psychological also. So you might be looking at having like a broader perspective about your life, your beliefs, your faith, and also rewriting your beliefs and being willing to really change the way that you see things that is no longer working for you. And then in the second part, in the 8th house, you're going to be looking inwards, having a new light on challenges and transformation and crisis. And it's going to allow you to really transform deeply, especially if you take this time to really look inwards. And then last thing I want to talk about is November 20th. We're going to have a new moon in Scorpio in your 8th house of Scorpio. So it's going to be a very transformational new moon, especially for you, Aries. So it's conjunct Mercury retrograde, exactly this new moon in Scorpio, and opposing Uranus. So big revelations about the past. You can also see secrets coming out at this time about financial situations, about karmic partnership, mutual investments. So it can be very financial as well with the 8th house. You're going to need to dive very deep into whatever comes your way during this new moon at this time, because it's likely very karmic in nature, and it's something the universe wants you to focus on. So there could be unsettling developments, news about finances and material security. So do expect changes, and also try to not rely on old ways of feeling secure, because this new moon will shift a lot of energy. But it's a good moon to really start healing, a therapy, a healing journey, and also getting your finances together. So let's look at the cards for our beautiful Aries.
Yes, let's see what we have for November. So Aries, for November, your card is number 28. I never saw this card before. It says stand tall. Perfect. So let's see what we have with tarot cards for you for this month. We have Ace of Cup. We have the Hermit. And we have the Four of Pentacles. I think that what we talked about in the beginning of this video, the energy of the month overall, is really applying almost textbook to you, almost word for you. What I'm seeing with those cards is that you're going to detach emotionally from your life for a moment to be able to do some kind of seeing things in a new light. So it's not negative. It's just being able to take a step back and looking from the outside to your life and looking at where am I not aligned? Because this is a renewal of your peace, of your happiness, of your joy. And this is also soul searching and questioning, where do I need to hold on to what I have, and where do I need to be more flexible, search for new ways of doing things. And you're really good with this, Aries, but some Aries could be stuck for some reason in patterns that you have outgrown, and it is going to ask you with this to stand tall. So it is going to ask you to step for your conviction and to not let the pressure of others or society tell you that it is wrong to not be stable in something. If you're not happy, don't stay. If something it could make you happier, if something could make you more motivated, so a challenge, a job, a new place in the world of living, if something makes you more happy, with those cards, it says explore those options. So really question what you have and see where it's worth holding on and where you have been holding on for too long. There is some blockages that are going to be apparent with this Mercury retrograde, and you're going to see, okay, so if I have those blockages, am I willing to work with them to make them stay, but that I'm going to be integrating new energy to be happy with them? Or do I need to completely remove them and make space for something new? But in all of this, the energy is you need to prioritize yourself and yourself first for this month.
I love that. And it seems like the Mercury retrograde is very important for Aries, because we talked about how it's in the ninth house at first. So changing your perspective, allowing yourself to, let's say, change your mindset on something, and that will unblock energy definitely. So I love that. Do make sure you like the video if you did enjoy your reading, Aries, and we wish you a wonderful, wonderful month of November. And also you can also write in the comments if that resonates. And we're going to shift to our second sign. So for Taurus, sun, moon, or rising. So Taurus, wow, what a big month for you. There is a lot of energy that involves you. So if you have a strong Taurus placements, of course, you're going to feel the energy shifting during the month of November. So let's start with November 5th. So there is going to be a full moon in your sign, in the sign of Taurus. So it will activate your first house of self, of personal projects, appearance, direction in life. And it's a full moon. So it's going to be definitely like a culmination of energy that is here in your first house. And so you're going to feel very much under the spotlight, and you're going to try to find more balance, because it is a full moon. So the sun is in your opposing sign of Scorpio. The moon is in your sign in Taurus. So you're going to be striving to find more inner, outer balance, balance within yourself, balance within your relationships, and also seeing the other side of the coin in any situation with involving other people. So you're going to be able to really not just look at your own perspective from your own experience, but also to see other people's perspective. So there could be something quite off-putting as far as like new information coming into your field at this time. And you probably will need to make a decision, because we have an opposition between Mars and Uranus at the time of this full moon. So it's also pushing you to find compromises within relationships, but not to your demise. Just remember that compromises, it's a win-win for both. It's not because you're let's say, folding for the other people's interests. So having healthy boundaries, but also finding a bridge with other people. And also there will be likely many choices to make around this full moon about who you want to associate yourself with, who you want to collaborate with. So Venus, the ruler of this full moon, is going to be at the center of many, many aspects. So there is going to be lots of decisions making process around Venus. So Venus is relationship and money, and Taurus, I think both themes could be coming out this month very strongly. So now, after that, 2 days after our full moon on November 5th, we have November 7th. Uranus retrograde goes back into your sign, Taurus, for one last chapter of changes and unexpected events. So I know Uranus is very disruptive, and you're probably like, no, not again. So it's going to be until February of next year that Uranus is in your sign, but it's the last time that you see this planet in your sign. And Uranus rules your 10th house of career, of future. So there is going to be more of an integration phase of changes in your career, in your future direction, in your public image. And also you might decide to change your overall direction in life, and also maybe also return to a past opportunity. Right after that, on November 9th, so there is no pause, especially for Tauruses, Mercury retrograde will transit your 8th house of transformation and your 7th house of partnerships. So first, you're going to be reviewing financial strategies, financial documents, so very, very financial. And then when it transits the 7th house, you're going to be going over past agreements with other people, important conversations with partner, and also other people about the past. And lastly, on November 20th, we have a new moon in Scorpio in your 7th house of partnerships. So you see how like relationships and finances are so big for you this month. So this new moon in Scorpio is conjunct Mercury retrograde in your 7th house of partnerships. So there is going to be a lot about past coming back to present, needing to review old agreements with partners, needing to look at past things that happened, reviewing that. And also it's opposing Uranus. So the planets of unexpected changes, surprises, swift changes of direction. So you might be reviewing an already existing alliance, partnership, agreement. There could be sudden change of direction because it's going to be closely tied to you, to your sign, because it's happening in your opposing sign. And there is going to be lots of support from social houses, so you can get lots of support from your friends, collaboration, your guides. And there could also be a new start with someone from the past with this Mercury retrograde. So now let's look at cards, shall we, for our beautiful Tauruses.
Tauruses for November, we have laughter is the best medicine. So I think that with everything that is going to happen for you this month, there is this need to not take it too seriously, to try to bring some lightness to it. So we have the sun. Yes, exactly. So I think that with everything going on, it is going to feel like we still have this energy of it is for my own good. I am safe. I am okay. And trying to bring some kind of light and fun in the situation. We have the Two of Pentacles reverse, and we have the Strength. So exactly. So I really feel like this is a month where maybe you're going to learn, or maybe you have learned in the past, and this is a perfect opportunity to prove that you have learned this, that you're able to manage a lot and you're able to stay in your grounded energy, in your calm, in your center. Not only the Strength is very, very powerful, but the sun talks about how universe is protective of you, how you have worked through so much already in your life, and this is not going to make you go on a wrong path at all. So this is meant for you to direct you on the right path. This is meant for you to prove that you have won over a lot of things. And let's not forget that Two of Pentacles is reverse. So I don't think that you're going to find this month difficult. I think you're going to just go through it thinking that I can take way more. I'm used to way more. And this is, in fact, very positive. So again, laughter is the best medicine. This is your card. It's the number 5. And the number 5 in astrology is having fun, children. So make sure that you have fun. You are safe. Universe has your back, and you have been through way, way, way worse. This is absolutely nothing. Everything is for your own good.
Wow, I love this. And let us know if that resonates. But I'm thinking about like all the Tauruses that I know, and I think like this is very, very on point, and beautiful cards also with the tarot, the Sun card. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love that for you, Tauruses. Let us know how you feel about the reading, if that resonates in the comments, and also do make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And now let's talk about our next one. So for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, the first date that I'd like to look at, Gemini, is November 5th. We have a full moon in the sign of Taurus, and that will activate your 12th house of secrets, karma, the past, and healing. So because it's a full moon, it's a completion in itself, and the 12th house is also a house of a completion. So there could be like an experience that leaves your life that makes you feel like you're losing a sense of security at first. Because Taurus is all about that material security. So there is something, an experience that is ending in your life, or that is ready for you to outgrow. And you can also decide to cut something out from your life at this point, because Uranus retrograde is now in your sign. So you have like the control over like what you want to make as far as changes in your life. And at the time of this full moon, we have an opposition between Mars and Uranus. So there could be separations or sudden change of direction, or just wanting to relocate, wanting to change things drastically is kind of the energy of this opposition. And especially for Gemini, which is people who need usually to be stimulated, who embrace change, don't want to do the same thing over and over again. So you're going to feel like this need to renew yourself very strongly. Some could even want to move out of their current place of living. And you can also be at this time making important choices when it comes to finances and relationships. Now, after that, on November 9th, so from November 9th until the end of the month, so the 29th, we have Mercury going retrograde. And for you, Gemini, is going to be in your 7th house at first. So 7th house is partnerships, relationship agreements, and then in your 6th house. And because you are ruled by Mercury, so you're going to feel like November is not a month where it moves very fast, and it's normal, especially for Gemini and Virgo, which are the signs ruled by Mercury. And rather, it's a time to go within, to ask yourself questions, to review things from the past. It's like a slingshot energy. So you're going back in order to go forward even with even more ease after the retrograde. So take this time to really check existing things rather than jump into new stuff. And in the first part of the Mercury retrograde, you're going to be likely having like important conversations, maybe with partners, with other people in your life. You could also be deciding to review agreements, contracts. And then there could also be, you could also be having conversation about your place of living, about traveling, because it's in the sign of Sagittarius. And then when it goes into Scorpio, it's going to be activating your 6th house of work, of daily routines, of health. So you could be at this time reviewing strategies about work, about revenue, about daily routines. So really asking yourself, like, would you like to change things regarding those topics? And then lastly, on November 20th, we're going to have a new moon in Scorpio, and that will activate your 6th house of work, health, and daily routines. And this new moon is conjunct Mercury retrograde. So there is going to be like a major, major energy to make you want to look at things from the past, maybe with a new approach. So getting maybe insight about a past work situation or about work revenue, about what's been happening in your work and your revenues in the past, and now wanting a new start with some of those topics. Or you can also have an insight about your health, about things that you want to change, about how you want to strategize or plan your day-to-day life in a different way. You could also be starting an old work again, because when we have Mercury retrograde conjunct the new moon, it's like a mix of new and old. So you want to start something new, but there is this element of the past that is also there. Or you can also be adding a revenue that is likely a past opportunity or from someone you used to know. So there is the past is going to make a visit into your life, especially around November 20th. So let's look at our month for our beautiful Geminis.
Yes, let's see what we have. So your card for the month is The Show Must Go On. Yes.
Oh.
So there is a revisit of the past, that's for sure, with the energy of pushing forward. So exactly like you said. And let's see what we have with tarot cards. We have the Four of Swords. So making sure that all of the things from the past are cleared, they are healed, there is no unfinished business. I feel like you're going to see where you have continued to appear like you were healed, like you were good, but you were not really. So that could be, how do you say, there's a word for that, for delayed grief. I know there's another word in English. Anyway, so you could be expressing delayed grief for passing, or delayed grief for breakup, or change of status, or anything in your life that has changed, that you didn't dealt with the emotions of that event. So I'm feeling like you are going to heal something from the past, making sure that you're restored. So in your body, in your mind, in your emotion, to be able to continue with the future, death and rebirth. Exactly. So really clearing the past to have this fresh new beginning. And what is on the other side? The King of Pentacles. I feel like you really want to bring some kind of stability to your life. You really want to have some kind of growth in your life, but it's not going to happen until you are clearing and healing the past. So maybe some therapy is going to happen. Maybe some energy healing is going to happen. Maybe some very deep conversation with people in the past is going to happen. Dealing with emotions face on is going to happen in order for you to move on better the next month.
Wow, I love that. And also the Four of Swords, you talked about healing, and I think it's very, very much on point for Geminis, but also it's like slowing down, allowing yourself to heal, allowing yourself to go inwards and not just be super busy with everything, which is like the natural Gemini energy. So I think you're going to be feeling like this is weird because I'm not used to, let's say, feeling like I'm going backwards, but it's to allow you to go even forward with the other cards that you pulled also.
Yeah.
Wow. So impressive. I love the energy for you, Gemini, especially for this month for the Mercury retrograde. And I think it could be very, very positive if used with the amazing advice of Sophie. So do make sure you hit the like if you did enjoy your reading, and also let us know in the comments what you feel and if you resonate with that. So we're going to talk about our beautiful Cancers now. So this is going to be for our Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Cancers, so you're going to be, you too, having like quite an eventful month. Let's start on November 5th, because we're going to have a full moon in the sign of Taurus, and that's going to activate your 11th house of social events, friendships, networks, social media, long-term plans. So there could be a social situation or a social event or a project involving many people that is ending at this time because it's a full moon. So we have a completion, a culmination of energy there. And because also Venus is going to be very much highlighted at the time of this full moon, you're likely going to have to make relationship choices in order to balance also finances. So there is this idea of needing to balance finances and relationships, and especially because it's falling in a social house for you, Cancer. So you're going to be feeling like you need to make choices of who you want to surround yourself with. And also Jupiter is in your sign, in the sign of Cancer. So you're blessed with the presence of the very social planet Jupiter. But it's about to go retrograde on the 11th. So you're also like in the midst of changing your outlook on life, your mindset, how you do relationship, how you connect with other people. So there also might be change of plans, change of travel plans, expansion plans, work plans that are changing. And you're going to be asking yourself, especially around this full moon on November 5th, what is your ideal portrait of a fulfilling personal life? So there, ask yourself, like, how do you visualize that for you? And there is going to be likely decisions about place of livings, about how do you want to invest your money and your energy next. And then on November 9th, we have Mercury retrograde, first transiting your 6th house and then your 5th house. So you're going to be reviewing your day-to-day habits, your diet, your rituals. So everything you do on a day-to-day basis is going to need to be reviewed with Mercury retrograde there. So take your time, focus on your health, focus on how you feel with all the changes that you might be implementing. And also you're going to be getting a better understanding of how everything connects together in your day-to-day life. So it's not just your health, but it's also correlating to your spiritual life, which is Sagittarius. And then at the later part of Mercury retrograde, so closer to the 29, you could be reconnecting with past passions, past lovers, even past creative hobbies, because it's going to be now transiting your house of fun, of love, of passion, the 5th house. And then next thing I want to talk about for Cancers is November 11th. So on 11/11, we have Jupiter retrograde in your sign. So you're going to feel like a shift in direction. You could at this time go back to old opportunities. You could be also exploring different spiritual practices. You could be changing your travel plans, like I said earlier. And most importantly, I think you're going to be having the opportunity to change beliefs about yourself. Anything that has been blocking you from having certain manifestations or experiences, it's the time to really dive deep into that for this retrograde. And then the last thing I want to talk about, November 20th, we have a new moon in Scorpio, which is going to activate again your 5th house of joy, fun, of love, of romance. And this new moon is quite fun. It's conjuncting Mercury retrograde, but also it's opposing Uranus. So there is definitely this element of surprise, of unexpected during this new moon. So there could be also major disruptive news that affect your community, your friend circle, your social media accounts. So you can be like receiving a notification or seeing something or hearing something from your social group and be like, wow, okay, this is really changing the game here. But you're going to be opening up a new chapter that is also linked to past plans, to past actions. So you can also be having a creative project or a business, if you do have a business that is ready to be launched. And if that's the case, just expect the normal Mercury retrograde stuff, which is delays. You'll have likely issues to be fixing at this time. But you're going to feel very creative. You're going to want to express yourself, maybe with old hobbies, go dive into old activities that used to bring you fun and joy. And you could be rekindling with past lovers, creative hobbies, passions, friends from the past. And just know that through all this, connect with yourself, listen to your own intuition. And I think it is the best advice. And let's look at the cards for our beautiful Cancers.
Okay, let's see what we have for this month of November. So your card is Doris Day. Animals are men's best friend. So I feel the need of bringing Esme to the screen for a second. Just say hi.
Hello.
And let's see what we have for this month. So animals are the The Man Best Friend is your card for the month. And let's see what we have. Very interesting because we have pets also on this card, the 10 of Pentacles. So I think that there is something about, and we have 7 of Wands and the Tower. Interesting, big energies for you guys. So I feel like there is something about bringing some companionship in your life. For some, it could be in the form of a pet. For others, it could be in a form of having a new social interaction. The 5th house is, for me, including pets, and your 5th house seems to be very activated. I know Julie's going to see the 6th, but for me, it's the 5th because it's my babies. So I really feel like you are going to want to bring some kind of renewal in who is around you, having a presence, and it could easily be filled by things such as AI in these days, but we prefer to have you outside with social interactions and with pets if possible. So volunteer if you don't want to have pets. If you like pets but you cannot have them, volunteer. Start new hobbies or reconnect, like Julie said, with old hobbies that you have let go over time. There seems to be some type of need for some new energy. And again, you do have a big need this month for reconnection with some type of social interaction. It could be children, it could be pets, it could be family, it could be friends, anything, but you seem to search for that connection. Would you say with the astrology that this is connecting with their moon or something for the sign of Cancer, or just because they're Cancer?
Well, we had the first full moon in the 11th house, which is very social. So looking for connection, companionship. So that makes sense. And also we have the 5th house very much also activated, which is children, which is fun, which is companionship, like you said. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, perfect. So I do want to bring your attention on the last card that we have for this month. It's the Tower. So I feel like this month you could have some people who are very important for your soul's journey coming in your life or coming back again in your life with this Tower. We know that in love life, when this is a card that is well aspected, it could be love at first sight. So in that same sense, it could also be about friendship, mentors, or the right path for you, or being pregnant, things that are faded, that are coming in your life to bring that energy of companionship, to bring that energy of social interaction in your life. So a lot is going on with contact with others and connection. So if you feel that need of connection, don't hide it. Don't try to just watch TV or do AI to fulfill this. Really go outside, really meet people, really fulfill it with living creatures such as pets, having children, or meeting people outside.
I love that. I love that. So there is this connection with what brings you joy, what brings you the sense of being able to share what you love, of connection. I love that. Let us know in the comments below if that resonates, and also do make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And now let's talk about Leos. So for Leo, sun, moon, or rising, first of all, Leos, on November 5th, we're going to have a full moon in Taurus, and that's going to activate your 10th house of career, of your future, your direction, your general direction in life. So because it's a full moon, there could be a career project that is reaching culmination at this time. So there is this like idea of something is reaching culmination or closing or peaking at some point. You could be also, because Taurus is a sign that is very industrious, very hardworking. It's also connecting to hard work, but also reaping the material rewards. So you could be seeing also the results of past hard work. And also now it might be the time for you, Leos, to reap the rewards of your past work. And also Venus is going to be highly activated at the time of this full moon. It's the part of 3 major aspects at the time of this full moon. So there is likely going to be lots of decisions to make around the theme of finances and relationships. And for Leos, I'm feeling also very even more like the financial part of it, because it's in your 10th house of career. So you could be also making important decisions as to where to invest next, your money, your time, your energy. And also Venus is in your 3rd house at the time of this full moon. So there could be also communications regarding finances, money, about how to rebalance a partnership, a financial situation. And at the time of this full moon, Mars is going to be opposing Uranus in your 5th house, 11th houses. So there could be changes, like drastic changes in your environment. So you could be deciding to part ways from certain people, certain types of energy, certain content, even the 11th house, certain activities, certain social circles or hobbies. So there could be like a need to really change drastically the energy there. And then let's talk about Mercury going retrograde. So it's going to retrograde from the 9th until the 29th. And for you Leos, it's going to be retrograding in your 5th house and then your 4th house. So when it starts, you're going to be reviewing what used to bring you joy. So the 5th house is your house, Leos. So you're going to be thinking about like what in the past brought you those joyful emotions, feelings. So it could be love, past lovers, it could be hobbies, passions, creations, children. So you're going to be reviewing that, going over certain experiences of the past in order to really integrate this joy, this love that you used to feel in the past. And also when it transits your 4th house, towards the end of November, you're going to be reviewing roles within your family. So maybe also fixing issues at home or with the family. And lastly, on November 20th, we're going to have a new moon in the sign of Scorpio, which will be activating your 4th house, Leo. So busy month for you, since also your 4th house and 10th house are going to be super activated. Those are angular houses. So whenever we have new moons, full moons in those houses, it means like it's a pivotal month. So new moon in Scorpio, it's conjunct to Mercury retrograde in your 4th house. So there is very likely going to be this connection with past regarding your family, regarding your home. So the past is coming back. You could be connecting with ancestors or people that have passed at this time. It's in the sign of Scorpio after all. And there is also this opposition to Uranus, which brings this element of surprise in your 4th house. So you could be having to change stuff in your house. There could also be secrets coming in from the past, or information revealed about the past regarding maybe family members or close people, or regarding your home or your neighborhood. So just expect some, let's say, unexpected news. And also you could be, like I said, discovering information about your family, your home. And generally speaking, it's going to be a great time for introspection, especially when it's in the 4th house. It's a very psychological house in nature where we get to review like our values, what we have, let's say, gained from our family, our parents. And it's a great time also to be healing family relationships and dynamics. So let's look at the month of November for Leos for the cards.
Let's see what we have. What's your card for the month? So your card is Freddie Mercury. You are a legend. Loving it.
Freddie Mercury for Mercury retrograde. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. So
I think there's a meme like with Mercury retrograde and Freddie Mercury. I have to find it.
Yeah. So we have the card of Justice. We have Wheel of Fortune. Something major is happening. Okay. And we have the Knight of Wands. Were you going to say something?
No, I'm all ears.
Go ahead. Perfect. So yeah, this is a big month for you guys. I think that it's going to be very, very positive, but it's going to go fast. Wheel of Fortune is not a card that goes slowly. The Knight of Wands is not a card that goes slowly at all. So I think that something is already started before the month of November and gets into motion very, very quickly in November. Very fated event because we have justice and the wheel of fortune. This is big. So
Wow.
for some of you, it could be legal issues. For others, it could be some type of marriage, divorce, anything that is with business. Maybe you're going to sign a new contract, a new business partner. So there is something that could be taking a turn very quickly when it comes to official papers. But karma is there, yes, but it could, sorry, justice is there, but it could be karma also. So it could be, yes, legal papers in this life, but it could also be related to karma in your past lives, especially with the card of reincarnation, which is the wheel of fortune, and the card of karma, which is justice. So when we have those cards together with the card of your legend, it's the confirmation that you have won. You have won something major in terms of evolution of your soul. You have won something major in terms of integrity, in terms of being fair, and that there is just big progress and moving on. So this is already in progress. Like I said, I see that in motion already for everybody. It would be extremely rare that if you have Leo placement very strongly and this is not already in motion, I would say it's extremely rare. I see that already in motion for everybody, this thing. And in November, really moving and maybe even getting to the point of being done. And you're just to the next thing, the next big manifestation of your life, or the big next lesson in your life. So I want to say that this is something that you are going to notice, but we're so busy that you may not be noticing this as very important. You may just think that, oh, yes, this big thing is happening, and not really paying attention more than that. But it's major. This is major. So if you have some big paper being signed, or if you buy a place or whatever karmically is resolved, if you are able to pinpoint what it is this month, just celebrate, please, because this is totally major for your soul evolution. And it says that you have won. Something is being left behind, and something is finally being removed from your shoulders in terms of energy. So very, very positive. And I want to take a last card because this is big. Page of Pentacles. So good news, and also something tangible coming into your life.
Wow. Well, I'm glad to be a Leo rising this month. And like I really resonate also with celebrate whenever there's something positive, because this is something I tend not to do.
Yeah.
Like when I've been like struggling for a particular issue for so long, when it finally happens, I'm like, okay, what's the next thing right away? So I think this is such like good advice to be like fully, like of course grateful, but also like celebrating. Like if you've been working hard on something and finally it's resolved in November.
Yeah, that's why I said maybe you're not going to notice it. It's because maybe you're just going to have that to-do list, and that's just one thing on your to-do list.
Yeah,
but take the time to really celebrate that one.
I love that. And hope you guys, Leos out there, are having a fantastic month of November. Let us know in the comments if you resonate with the reading, and do make sure you hit the like. It really helps us and supports the channel. Okay, now let's talk about Virgos. So this is going to be for Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Virgos, I have 3 important dates for you. So let's start with the first one. So November 5th, we're going to have a full moon in the sign of Taurus. And for Virgos, it's going to activate our 9th house, which is a very protected house, a house of blessings. So there is definitely a culmination of energy that happens on November 5th. Surrounding an experience that could be regarding traveling, international matters. It could be also regarding foreigners. It could be regarding legal matters. So there is something along those lines, or also maybe on a more spiritual level, which is also the 9th house. So you've come to a realization about your beliefs, about your spiritual journey. So something along those lines is reaching some sort of culmination. And you have likely learned a lot in the last 6 months, and you're now finally seeing the connection between the experiences that you're having. So there's this energy of having a big breakthrough around this full moon on November 5th. And also the ruler of this full moon, which is Venus, is in your second house. And there is lots of different aspects pointing to that Venus. So Venus is going to be a major player in this full moon. And for Virgo, it's activating our second house of finances and resources. So there is likely financial decisions to make, or also decision about investments, which is also the second house. So you could have to decide where you want to invest either your time, your money, your resources next. So there is this energy. And also I'm saying next, but also I think it's going to come quite quickly, because we have an opposition between Mars and Uranus at the time of this full moon, which is like needing to act now, following sudden information or shifts of energy. So yeah, this is going to kind of trigger sudden events, or needing to take quick action on something, or let's say learning some new information in your personal life and professional life, and needing to really shift and pivot quickly with that. And then the second date I want to talk about is, of course, our beloved Mercury retrograde. And for Virgo, well, it's your planet. So the whole month of November is going to be under the influence of needing to slow down, needing to review the past. Yes, because it's your planet. And it's going to retrograde in your fourth house, which is home and family, and your foundations, your values. And then your third house, which is your communication and your learning experiences. So first, the first part of that Mercury retrograde, you're going to need to review your core values, what is important for you, your home, your family, your emotional life. So Mercury retrograde will allow you to review things from the past in those areas, to take some introspection time, maybe be doing a little bit more cocooning than usual, slowing down, prioritizing your emotional fulfillment. And then the second part of that Mercury retrograde, it's going to be all about having important conversations. Even it could be negotiations. You could also be reviewing plans, reviewing strategies. So third house is going to be very mental. You're going to be reviewing a lot about like the way you're thinking, the way you're planning, the way you're communicating. And the last date I want to talk about is November 20th, where we're going to have a new moon in the sign of Scorpio, conjunct that Mercury retrograde. So again, this idea of, yes, we're starting a new cycle with that new moon, but we also have to connect it with things from the past. And for Virgos, it's going to be in our third house of communication. So we could be starting a communication with someone or a negotiation with someone for something that has started in the past, because it's conjunct Mercury retrograde. There could also be a second chance at something, a second chance at, let's say, finding a common ground with someone. It could be a financial agreement. And yes, this new moon is going to oppose Uranus. So there's this idea of like new surprising things happening, sudden shifts of energy, or just very quick developments. So there could be shocking news, shocking announcements, secrets that are being revealed from the past, and just new information that comes into your field that allows you to make some changes in your life. So I can't wait to see what the cards have to say for Virgos for the month of November.
So Virgos, what's your card for November? So your card is Audrey Hepburn, Radiate Love. Okay.
I love that already.
Knight of Pentacle, the Hangman, two extremely slow moving cards. So of course, because it's being ruled by the planet that is retrograde, Mercury.
Yeah. So anything you want to do that, like you want to speed up things, like, you know, like you want to go fast, not the month to do that, Virgos.
It is not. We do have the Hierophant, so that's Saturn energy right there. So it is about doing things properly and infusing the love in everything that you do. This is not the month to go fast at all. This is the month to do things very methodically. So make sure everything is in order, go slow, and enjoy it, because there is so much pleasure in going slow when you don't have the choice anyway. So, I mean, enjoy it. There is so much pleasure in just saying, okay, you know what, slow morning. Or, you know what, I'm going to just review what needed to be done, and I'm not going to rush through my to-do list. I'm just going to do one thing that I have been pushing for far too long on the back burner, and just do things slow day. I don't know if you do that, Julie, but sometimes like just reading a book on a Sunday, just very slow, a cup of tea and like candles, and that's it. So that's the type of month that you're going to be forced to have. But it is infused by love, because it is the card that you have. It's the number 25, so that equals 7. So this is absolutely ruled by love. The universe is just saying, you know what, you have been doing so much. Just make sure that you're taking care of yourself also. Slow down. So overall, this is not going to be a busy month, sorry. It is going to be a moment where everything, like if you're waiting for a grant, if you're waiting for a response for government or anything that is authorities, it's going to be very slow. So you're going to have to, you're going to be forced again to go very, very relax and recharge.
Okay, well, it seems like it will be challenging for Virgos. So usually we have a very long to-do list of things. So usually I can have a slow day, but I have to admit I have guilt because I'm thinking about all my other things that are still on my to-do list. So I think this is our permission to really do it with no guilt. So hopefully you guys will resonate with that. Hope you have an amazing month of November. Let us know in the comments how you feel about that, if that reading resonates with you. And of course, you can hit the like. It really helps support the channel. For our beautiful Libras, so this is going to be for Sun, Moon, or Rising in the sign of Libra. Well, you two are going to have quite a month, because Venus, your planet, is going to be at the center of the next full moon. So on November 5th, we're going to have a full moon in the sign of Taurus, and it will activate your 8th house of deep transformation and healing. So yes, the ruler of this full moon is also your ruler, and Venus will be the center of many, many aspects. So 3 major aspects, all pointing to Venus, which makes me think that you're likely going to have to make major decisions around the full moon in Taurus. And Venus is in your sign, also in a sign of Libra, so in your 1st house. So it's you, Libra, that has likely the control to decide where you want to go next, what you want to do to for yourself, what do you want to achieve for yourself. So you're going to be at the center of many decisions. And yes, because Libra is the sign of like finding compromises with other people, being in relationship with other people, you will not be able to let's say to please, this is the word I was looking for, to please everybody, of course. But what is important is that just remember that it's in your sign. So you do have the power to at least make yourself happy, and your happiness is your responsibility first and foremost. And because the full moon is in your 8th house, I think that for most Libras, it's the end of a tough phase that approaches at the time of this full moon in Taurus. 8th house is usually the house of crisis, of transformation. But since it's a full moon, so we're completing something that has been probably tough, but also very transformational in nature. So there is this culmination of healing energy that is here, or a healing process that is here. And there could also be a situation for you that involves your mutual finances, which is also the 8th house. It's a very financial house. So mutual investments, mutual funds. And there is a situation likely also regarding finances that require for you an important decisions of what you want to do with this, let's say, those resources, or this amount of money that is shared between people. And there will likely it's going to likely require decisions from you, Libras. And also there is this idea of learning new information or having announcements or news that create some kind of a tense situation, because we have Mars opposing Uranus directly at the time of this full moon, and it's in your houses of communication. So there could be either people around you that have some major announcements to make, or it could be also you that are also announcing some changes that people didn't see coming. And then on November 9th, we have Mercury retrograde until the 29th of the month. And for you, Libra, Mercury retrograde will be transiting your third house of communication, news, and documents. And also after that, it's going to transit into your second house of finances. So first, there is likely going to be important conversations to be had with that Mercury retrograde in your third house. And you're going to need to review agreements within people, how you used to divide things, what were the agreements with different people that you were in contact with in your life. There could also be negotiations at this time. And then the last part of November, when it I was going to say reviews, but retrograde, you're going to review also financial agreements, because the second house is all about your finances, your investments, and you're going to be looking also at reviewing your financial strategies, and how you're willing also to invest yourself in many different ways with your money, your time, your energy. So this kind of a thinking process will also culminate on the 20th of November, when we have a new moon in Scorpio in your second house of finances and resources, conjunct that Mercury retrograde. So now you will be ready to start a new phase with your finances, your resources, but also that has a tie to the past with that Mercury retrograde. So there could be a situation from the past involving your finances and requiring you to take on a new approach, review it in a different way. You could also be reviewing a contract, reviewing a financial agreement, or learning information from the past regarding someone else's financial situation, which also can be Scorpio. And this new moon is going to be quite surprising, quite disruptive, because it's opposing Uranus, a planet of surprise, shocks, shifts of energy. So I think there is likely this drastic change of energy in your financial department, in your energy field, and it's needing you to take quick action with any kind of quick shifts that are happening around you. So there could be like a new way to restructure your finances or reestablish boundaries within like different partners, let's say, for example. And it's going to be the time to do it. So whatever comes your way, it's because it's divinely timed, and the universe wants you to look at that in order to rebalance everything, which is Libra, the essence of finding harmony, peace, and balance within everything. So let's look at the cards for you, Libras, for November.
Let's see what we have for you for this month. So the card of the month for you is Never Compromise.
Wow, interesting.
You were just talking about that.
Getting out of your comfort zone, Libras.
So we have Page of Swords. It says detail-oriented expert opinion, reading the fine print. We have the Knight of Cups, creative, persuasive, charm, and lead with the heart. And the final card of the month is the Tower. Interesting. Whoa. So this one is about shocking news and, of course, unforeseen events. So I think that this is going to be a month that could shock you a little bit, that could test you a little bit, because we have this Tower. Nothing to be afraid of. It just says that you need to slow down and review everything. So with this card of reading the fine prints, I'm not surprised. Mercury retrograde. The card of leading with your heart, it's not, for me, an obstacle to reading the fine print. It just means go with what your instinct is telling you, go with your heart, of course, during this month. Trust your instinct, but also be careful in doing it the right way. So yes, following your heart, but also let a little bit of space for your head to make sure that everything is in order and balanced, like Julie said. So we do have the card that is never compromise. And with this one, I want to take an extra card of tarot with this.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
10 of Pentacles. I think that what is happening is that with this 10 of Pentacles, it's long-lasting structures and that can be growing with time. So it's to make sure that when you are settling with something, making a choice, establishing a new boundary, establishing a new dynamic, you are okay with this dynamic. You are okay with what you are creating. The contract, verbal, right, by writing or by just energies, because what you're building is going to be long lasting, and you don't want to do something that you're compromising too much and not being comfortable or not being yourself in it. So make sure that what you're doing this month is something you're comfortable in, that you respect yourself, because with this thing that you're going to create or recreate this month, it's going to build and rebuild on it. So meaning that it's going to be a structure that's going to stay very long time in your life, one way or another, and it's going to be very important for your new identity.
I love that. So do make sure that you express yourself and your needs. I think this is why we got the card never compromise. So really express what's in your heart. I love that, Libras, for you. And even with the Tower card, I think like it could be a very positive month for our Libras.
Absolutely.
And your planet Venus is in your sign for a couple of days still. So for the beginning of the month, so do take advantage of that. You're going to be the center of empowerment and decisions. I love that. So let us know what you think in the comments below. And also do make sure you hit the like. It really helps us support the channel. And let's talk about Scorpios, the stars of the show. So first of all, a very happy solar return to all the Scorpio suns out there. Thank you for being so amazing, different, rebellious at times, magical. We love you. So let's talk about this very important month for you, but which is also going to be, I believe, beautiful. So let's start on November 5th. We're going to have a full moon in the sign of Taurus. So that means Scorpios, it's falling and activating your 7th house of partnerships. And throughout like both the full moon in Taurus and the new moon in Scorpio, Uranus is going to be highly activated. So Uranus brings in sudden shifts, surprises, news, announcements. So it's going to be like the undercurrent of the whole month. So, but first let's focus on this full moon in Taurus, activating your 7th house of partnerships. So because it's a full moon, it means that something has been growing slowly but surely in your 7th house of partnerships. So there could be a culmination of an experience with a partner, with a relationship. And Venus, the ruler of this full moon in Taurus, is in your 12th house. So it's likely very karmic in nature for you, whatever is coming up at this time for it to be resolved or reaped or looked at. So there could be an end of a financial deal. There could be the end of an agreement. It could be, of course, like in a more negative sense, the end of a relationship. But I think whatever is leaving your experience at this time is going to be helping you to make space for a lot more of, let's say, positive shifts in your life. So I don't think it's something that you're really holding on too tight. I think it's something you're already aware that is about to leave your experience. Some may decide to choose a relationship over money. So there is this theme to like decisions around Venus that is coming up. Venus is the center of two very important elements. So it's the apex of a T-square, and it's also the apex of a yod. And the yod is the finger of God aspect that is pointing towards the direction of Venus in Libra. So lots of decisions to make, and especially around this full moon for you Scorpios. So you might have a lot of decisions to make regarding money and relationship. And because it's also this full moon is falling in your 7th house. So how do you want to move forward with contracts, with agreements, with different roles in a relationship? How you want to balance everything? And there is this idea also of fairness in financial exchanges. That is going to be surely a focal point for you during this full moon. There could also be like a high tension in your finances because Mars is opposing Uranus. So that is also like some needing to make some quick changes, to pivot rapidly with whatever might be going on in the world at this time. So there is this energy of like unexpected energy, but you Scorpios are great to deal with that usually. So now let's talk about Mercury retrograde. So on the 9th of November until the 29th, Mercury will be retrograde. And yes, again, you will be the star of the show because it will end in your sign. But first, it's going to transit your second house of finances and resources. So you will be reviewing your finances, your investments. You're going to think about strategies for the future. You're going to rethink maybe your revenues, and how you are also managing your money is going to be a major theme, your budget. And then when it comes into your sign towards mid and the end of November, there is going to be this deep introspection about yourself, about needing to slow down, exploring your thoughts, exploring your inner fears that are connected with money also, and with trusting other people. So you're going to dive deep into this Mercury retrograde, which is going to culminate on November 20th when we get a new moon in Scorpio conjunct this Mercury retrograde in your first house. So this will be a new moon in Scorpio in your sign. And if your birthday is close to November 20th, it means you're going to have a new moon solar return. So this year ahead is going to be under the energy of this new moon. So quite a lot of surprises with that opposition to Uranus that we're having. Just be ready for a lot of changes. You're not going to be bored, that's for sure. But for every Scorpio, it's going to be a powerful new moon. It's in your sign, so it really allows you to manifest whatever you'd like to manifest for yourself at this time, and especially with whatever's connected with the past or past opportunities. So anything you'd like to manifest or get a second chance at manifesting, is the right time to do it. Also, getting a second chance at starting a project that really matters to you is the time to really focus on that. So like I said, this new moon in Scorpio is opposing Uranus in your 7th house. So surprises are likely going to come from other people or your partner. And just be ready to pivot quickly because, of course, there is this idea of like expect the unexpected, basically. Your partner life or your partner situation, if you do have a partner, could also change in a very quick and drastic way because the 7th house could also be that. Some could also be leaving relationships behind or just discovering new information, secrets even. But on the more positive side of things, I think it could be like a very strong awakening energy to really shift your frequency in a really, really positive way. So I think like we're going to talk, of course, about relationships, but it's a chance also to change relationship dynamics for the better, to have like fair exchange, to be able to really trust other people, which is like the big, let's say, a challenge of Scorpio in this lifetime. So I think there could be like a huge shift of energy that allows you to heal a past relationship and move forward with a lot more positivity. So let's look at the cards.
Let's see what we have for you for this month of November. So your card is Prince, Shine and Be Free.
Whoa, I love it.
Let's see what we have with the tarot. I think you're a fan of Prince, right?
I am. I love him.
And the number is number 9. So it's very the end of the karma, the end of a loop. So bringing some, it says shine and be free. So freedom from the old. And we are in a year 9.
Yeah.
So we have 10 of Cups.
Ooh.
The Moon. And the Devil. So you're not going to be, 10 of Swords underneath the deck. You're not going to be afraid of diving very deep to free yourself from something that is preventing you from reaching your full potential of joy, happiness in this life. and we're in a year 9. We have the card number 9, shine and be free. So there is something powerful to not just push in the back on a back burner this month. Really make it your priority to face it, face your emotion, face what is resurfacing, because you really want to dive deep to remove what is blocking you to be able to access your full potential of joy and happiness. I feel like there is some type of illusion with this card of the moon and this card of the devil that could hold you back at this moment on at least one of your aspect of your life. So at the very least, on one thing in your life, there is going to be some freedom and some releasing of illusion that makes you unable to reach your full potential of joy at this moment. I'm going to take another card because this is a very big message for you. You have 9 of Swords. So this is, another 9 underneath the deck. So we have 3 9s. This is major for you this month. Wow. So with all of the emotions that are resurfacing, if you are facing them, you are going to be able to face the discomfort for a moment, accept the discomfort, sit in it, so you're able to move past this. If you're feeling that you are anxious, you're not sure why, you're probably not facing them, you're probably just pushing them inside and not wanting to face it. So be mindful of when you're feeling this discomfort to sit in the discomfort, ask yourself questions and face it. Write it down if you need, record your voice if you want with the sound. It's okay, whatever you prefer, but really be mindful of facing it, because this month comes freedom and a lot of happiness.
Wow, I love this death and rebirth, and especially the rebirth part of this month for you, Scorpio. So let us know if that resonates. And of course, I think it's going to be transformational, but yes, super positive for you, Scorpio. So I wish you an amazing month of November. Let us know in the comments below what you think, and also do make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And we're going to talk about our next one, which is the other star of November. So Sagittarius, and especially towards the end, because it's going to shift into Sagittarius season. One of my favorite seasons of the year. Yes. I have so many planets in Sagittarius, so and I connect a lot with you guys. So a very happy solar return to all of our amazing Sagittarius sun people watching this video. And let's talk about the energies of November for you guys. So first, November 5th, there is a full moon in the sign of Taurus, and that will activate your 6th house of work, of daily routines, of health. And because it's a full moon, it's like a completion or a culmination of energy in your 6th house. So there could be a work situation or a revenue or a project that is coming to an end, either because it's leaving your life or just because you're ready to reap the rewards. And also Venus, which is a ruler of this full moon, is in your 11th house of big dreams. So there are definitely choices that you will need to make when it comes to your long-term plans, which is the 11th house, your entourage, your social circles, your social media. So what kind of like people and energy do you want to surround yourself with to realize your big dreams and your goals? And I think it's going to be mainly professional, because we're talking here about the 6th house with this full moon. And also we have a Mars opposition Uranus that is kind of falling near your ascendant, your descendant. So there could be sudden relationship shifts around this full moon. You could be either cutting off people or having to make important decisions about who you want to surround yourself with again. So there is this idea of like really making choices, and it's not necessarily cutting out people, but it can also be just deciding like who you allow in your very close circle, who will support your long-term dreams, and who do you think is there on a daily basis for you, which is the 6th house. And then on November 9th, Mercury is going retrograde in your sign, so in your 1st house. and then it will dip into your 12th house. So for the first part of the Mercury retrograde, you're going to be reviewing your personal projects. You're going to be reviewing your own direction in life. So there is a time for a deep introspection, especially for you, Sagittarius. And also, what are your beliefs? What is your mindset? How do you approach life in general? So there is this like need to really shift your mindset during this first part of the Mercury retrograde. And then towards mid-November and end of November, Mercury will shift into your 12th house. So you're going to be reviewing the past. And it will be the time to rebalance past situations, rebalance karma from the past. Now, the other thing that also connects with karma is on 11/11, we have Jupiter, which is your planet, going retrograde in your 8th house. So you're going to feel at this time a big shift of energy, especially karmically speaking. And also there could be a change of direction with your opportunities, with your financial opportunities. And you will feel like some things are maybe unaligned in your life at this time. And it's the right occasion to realign what you want to be manifesting in your life, what you feel like it's important for you to be there, to realign them to your core values. And it will also be a great time to be healing your mindset, your like anything that is very deep, your beliefs, your mantras, even like how you talk to yourself, and great time for therapy as well. Lastly, November 20th, we have I was going to say full moon, no, a new moon, this time in Scorpio, and it will be in your 12th house. And also it will be conjunct Mercury retrograde. So there is this like big focus on the past at the time of this new moon, although it's like the time to open up a new phase. So the past will be coming back for you to direct your attention to whatever the universe decides to put on the spotlight for you, but it's likely coming from the past. So you could be at this time healing a past relationship, healing relationship imbalances. And this new moon will be quite shocking in nature because it's opposing Uranus. So you could also have sudden news coming to you regarding work, regarding routines, regarding health. And I think overall, the 12th house, like the most beautiful aspect of that is it's creative, it's artistic, but also very healing in nature. So you'll have a second opportunity to heal something from the past, or heal a present issue that takes root in the past. So let's look at the cards for our beautiful Saggies.
Let's see your card of the month. So we have James Dean, don't try, do it. So talking about it's time to go for it and not planning it, but actually doing it this time. And it's very Mercury card, the number, and also the car. So that's very Mercury.
Mm. Well, it's in Sagittarius to start. So
yeah. So we have 8 of Swords. That could be because it's the first card, it could be where it says don't try because you have been stuck maybe in a loop in the past, but just do it. So we have the card of Justice, Major Arcana, and we have the 7 of Cups. Interesting energy for you. I think that there is a lot of clarity and a lot of options, right, that are coming your way. So where before you may have felt stuck, you may have felt like there was no way out, you may have felt like there was no opportunity coming your way, or your life was a little bit maybe a little bit boring for some of you, routine and just stuck in this energy. Well, prepare for this. Absolutely, you were right. Justice is coming back around, and with this, we can have karmic retribution. We could have rewards for your past efforts, things that you planted in the past as seeds, and now coming back with rewards for you, gift for you, opportunities for you. And on this picture, we can see that she's opening A box could be a treasure, and we have here the all of your options. So it's almost like a reward from universe saying, okay, you have been good, you have learned what you needed to learn, you have been in the best behavior. So here we have tons of opportunities. What do you want to do? So the card says, don't try, do it. But be mindful that, of course, it's going to be Mercury retrograde, but it means that you have opportunities and you need to act on them. Maybe not during Mercury retrograde, but you need to act on them. You're saying maybe they can?
I remember you did say when you pull cards from Mercury retrograde, you said like this one particularly, if you feel guided to do something, to take action, this will be the right one. You said that.
Okay. Well, it's basically those opportunities you cannot let them pass. So if you're feeling guided to do it, look at the fine print, make sure you ask plenty of questions, make sure that there is as much information as you can get on those things, but act on them. So that's even perfect that we can absolutely act on them during, but make sure that to remove the a little bit of the tension with Mercury retrograde, that you read the fine print and you ask questions. So let's just see one final card. I just want to see for that 8 of Swords energy, we have the Strength. So I wanted to see what was holding you back. Why did we have this blockage in your energy? And we have the Strength. So for me, you were processing things. For me, you were in a process of healing, or in a process of understanding something, or preparing for just the next step of your life. But here we are, you're ready, and the universe is going to propose things to you. So be careful about what you wish for, because sometimes when we are in this funk or in a boring routine, we may ask for some things moving. Here they are, and now it's for you to act on it.
And now it will be moving fast. Well, maybe more after the Mercury retrograde,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's again, like I talk about this slingshot energy. So you're going back in order to go forward even faster after the retrograde.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. Let us know, Sagittarius, if you did enjoy the reading. Let us know in the comments what you think, if you do resonate with the energies, and also do make sure you like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us support the channel. So now let's talk about Capricorn. So this will be for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. First of all, Capricorn, I have 3 important dates for you. The first one is November 5th, where we have a full moon in the sign of Taurus, and it will activate your 5th house of fun, children, vacation, creative hobbies, and business, if you do have a business. So because we have a full moon there, it's like this combination of energy. So either an experience regarding a creative project or a fun project might be ending, but also you could be reaping the rewards of past action at this time. There could be the completion of something you created, because the 5th house is anything that comes out of you. So it could be, of course, like a baby, but it could be a literal baby, or what was the other one? Metaphorical baby, which it could be a creative project, it could be your business, anything you created. So you could be reaping the rewards at the time of this full moon in Taurus. And there could also be sudden changes in your day-to-day, in your routine, in your work, or also regarding your health, because we have Mars opposing Uranus in your 6th house and 12 houses at the time of this full moon. So there is likely like some shift of energy that you will have to consider. Maybe like the end of a project makes the fact that you're starting something new, you need to change your schedule. There could be something along those lines. Or you might also need to cut out something that's unhealthy, that's stressful with Uranus opposed Mars in your day-to-day life. That's not helping you reach perfect health or perfect balance. And Venus is going to be very much highlighted at the time of this full moon. And Venus represents, of course, love and money. So there could be a lot of decisions regarding that. And because Venus is in your 10th house, which is your house, Capricorn, the house of career, the house of work, the house of future, there will likely be decisions you need to make around this full moon, surrounding like what direction do you want to give to your career, or what direction you want to give to your future, which is also the 10th house. And also, where do you want to invest yourself next, which is going to be the big question around this full moon. The next date is going to be November 9th. So Mercury goes retrograde on the 9th of November until the 29th. And for you, Capricorn, it's going to retrograde into your 12th house, and after that in your 11th house. So first, there will be like a big emphasis on the theme of like the past coming back for you, because the 12th house is all about the past. It's all about your dreams, also getting like very special messages in your dreams, becoming even more psychic, or getting psychic intuition, messages from your dreams again. But also regarding the past, you could be revisiting topics, experiences, or places even from the past in the first part of that Mercury retrograde, in order to resolve something, get closure out of some things from the past. And then in your 11th house, so this is going to be towards more the end of November, you're going to be revisiting your long-term plans. And also it could be your strategies, your social media strategies, if you do have social media accounts. And then the last thing I want to talk about is on November 20th, we have a new moon in the sign of Scorpio in your 11th house, your social house of the 11th house. And this new moon is going to be quite special because it's conjunct that Mercury retrograde. So it's like this whole culmination of like revisiting topics from the past, rethinking about your direction for the future. It ends with this new moon in Scorpio in your 11th house. So you have like a second opportunity to start maybe a project from the past, or an opportunity that someone brought to you, because the 11th house is like this social house of like working with other people, also having either a fan base, a community, a public social media presence. So you could be starting something that was already starting in the past, or having a new approach to something new while also keeping some elements of the past regarding anything 11th house. So it could be an event, it could be having to network, it could be social media strategies, friendships, social events. And a lot of you will need to upgrade anything that is that deals with technology or networks. So upgrade websites, social media accounts, or learn how to use new technologies. But remember, there is this Mercury retrograde, so it's linked with something from the past, or someone from the past that is helping you. And there could also be sudden shifts with creative projects, with your business, if you do have one, because this new moon is opposing Uranus. So there is definitely this element of surprise, of needing to change your long-term plans with whatever will be coming up. So yeah, let's look at the cards for our Capricorn for November.
Let's see what we have for your card of the month. So you have fly high and don't forget to breathe. Interesting.
I love that.
Okay. Your cards are the Fool. Interesting. There's a lot of purple so far in your cards. So 12th house, you mentioned?
The first part of the Mercury retrograde will be in the 12th house.
Yeah. So a lot of connection with psychics, a lot of connection with source itself, or true dreams, like you were mentioning. We have 8 of Cups. We have 5 of Pentacles. There's a lot of emphasis on what is going to be ending. So make sure that you know what you want to leave your life, because make your list. Your stress, your bad job, the unhealthy dynamic maybe with your neighbors, or whatever you want, because here we have a huge emphasis on leaving something behind and starting new, starting fresh. So we do have this card of fly high and don't forget to breathe. I think that you're really going to just, it's almost like I'm seeing you just flying over your problems and just being away from them. And that's actually a very good technique. When you have a stress, when you have a trauma from the past, you can actually revisit it true scenes in your mind and just distancing yourself with it. So you can start to see it smaller and smaller and smaller, and then turning black and white, and then just fading away in the background. So that's almost like what I'm getting from your cards of not dissociation, because that's maybe unhealthy, but more like we are leaving behind this attachment with emotion of what is going on that we don't like, and we're leaving it behind, and we're okay with it because we're detaching from it completely. And the Fool card is very positive because we are aware that there is a cliff. We are aware that there is something that is ending, and we don't know what is going to be starting when this cliff is ending. But we know that we're fully ready to leave behind what is not for us. Let me take one more card with this, because yes, there will be something leaving. There will be something that we're able to consciously choose to put behind, but also there's a fresh new beginning. So let's take one about your fresh new beginning. So we have the 5 of Cups reverse. I feel like you are leaving behind everything that has hurt you and things that are making you very heavy in your emotions, very heavy on maybe on your self-esteem. And we are starting fresh with maybe a new meeting of a person next, maybe a new job, maybe, because there's those 2 cups on the 5 of Cups, right? We are crying over the spilled 3 cups in front. We do have 2 cups that are standing behind us. So when it's reversed, it's very interesting because it's shifting the focus for me from the 3 cups that are spilled to the 2 cups that are in the back. And that means
like partnership, collaboration, connection. Wow.
Yeah. That can be through mentor, that could be through friendship, that could be through a specialist of anything to help you during this, but that can also be meeting a new person. And with everything that I'm seeing, I'm loving this because it says, nope, I'm better than this, and I'm leaving everything behind to start fresh with what I truly deserve. So a lot of courage for you this month, but it says don't forget to breathe. And that means don't ask too much of yourself. Be able to also, in your strength, be able to also take a moment to go through your emotions.
Wow. And I love to see the Fool cards for our Capricorns, because we know like how resilient you guys are and so perseverant. So we know that whenever we have this energy, it takes so much courage to change direction and pivot on something that you thought previously was your direction. And now it's like, no, I'm all in because this is going to make me happy and it's more connected to me. So kudos to you. I love this energy for you guys. I think it's going to be a magical month of, I want to say, magical redirection with the Fool cards. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and also do make sure you like this video. It really helps support the channel. And let's talk about Aquarians. Wow, what a month for you too, Aquarians. Okay, so I have four elements I want to talk to you about. The first one is on November 5th, we have a full moon in the sign of Taurus. That will activate your 4th house. So it's an angular house, which means this full moon in Taurus will be very pivotal for you Aquarians. 4th house is the house of the home, the family, your values, your core, also your emotional fulfillment. So there is a culmination of a situation, because a full moon is like we're completing a cycle regarding home, family, that is coming to culmination. So something is coming to your attention because an experience is either about to end or you're about to reap the rewards of a certain project experience. Venus is a ruler of this full moon, and it's in your 9th house. So I think it's going to be even more positive for you than other signs. I think everybody will have to make decisions surrounding Venus themes, which is money, investment of time, energy, money, but also relationships. But also knowing that it's in the ninth house, it could also be a more psychological process for you Aquarians to make those decisions, changing your mindset, wanting to have a better future, also adding more exploration, excitement to your life, maybe a new direction, a new travel, a new trip. Maybe some of you are relocating or thinking about it. So likely there will be this decisions about ninth house things. So it could be also dealing with foreigners, dealing with, let's say, learning experiences, deciding to teach, to coach, taking a new class, a new higher learning experience. So there is something along those lines that require of you a shift of direction or a decision. You could also be meeting a mentor, which is also the ninth house, helping you make important decisions regarding your future. Or it could also be, if you do have kids, of course, talking about the future of your kids. You could also be reaching out for support from other people, from your guides, and having like Venus in the ninth house is kind of saying you can ask for help and you will receive help either in this realm or your spiritual guides. Then on November 7th, we have your planet Uranus that is already retrograde, but now will re-enter the sign of Taurus. So it will re-enter your fourth house. And we've been also talking about that with the full moon in Taurus. So again, like a double whammy on the home and family sector for you. And it will stay, Uranus will stay in your fourth house until February of next year. So to me, it talks about having to integrate more changes again with your home and family situations. So for example, like I know some Aquarians and their kids are about to leave the house. So there, it could be this type of situation for you, rearranging everything or even relocating, moving for some, buying property, like adding, it could be like any kind of changes surrounding home, family. Also, it could be, like I said, changes in a family, your close one deciding to travel, also relocate, move out, those type of things. And then 2 days later, November 9th, we have Mercury going retrograde until the 29th. So basically the whole month of November. And for you Aquarians, it will be first in your 11th house, which is the Aquarian house, and then in your 10th house. So for the first part of Mercury retrograde, you're going to reviewing your long-term plans. For some of you who are approaching retirement, it could also be like having to rethink like how your retirement is going to be, which is also the 11th house. And rethinking about like your long-term goals and dreams and realign everything in order to meet those new goals, because likely it's going to change during this Mercury retrograde. And then the second part of Mercury retrograde is going to be about your career, the 10th house, about your future, about your public life. So you will likely be reviewing career goals or reviewing past projects in your career, and maybe changing also your future direction there. And then lastly, on November 20th, to end this big Mercury retrograde process, we have a new moon in Scorpio in your 10th house of career, of public life, conjunct this Mercury retrograde. So this will be super powerful, and it's opposing Uranus too, and we're going to talk about that. But first, for you Aquarians, I feel like it's a new start in your professional life, or it could be your public life as well, with an element of the past. So it's likely something that you've discovered in the past, or a past opportunity that is coming back for you to start again with a new approach. And also you could be going back to an old work opportunity with that. There is this element from the past that is here to help you start a new chapter with your public life, with your career. Also, yes, like I said, this new moon is opposite to Uranus, so there are likely sudden changes that will happen, sudden shifts that will require you to make a swift decisions regarding how you want to adapt your personal life and your public life, because it's going to happen in that axis. So there will be exciting stuff for you, but also needing to change things surrounding to adapt your personal life and your public life. And maybe you're just going to decide to, let's say, work less, have more time, And that's going to change your schedule. It could also change with your family dynamic, with your relocation. Something along those lines is likely going to happen. So I'm curious to see what the cards have to say for our Aquarians for this month.
Let's see what is your card for the month. So your card, yeah, absolutely. So think big. So it talks about, of course, the distance, and we have the horn in the back. Of course, we have the train. Let's take the cards.
Wow, I don't know if you guys can hear, but also my wind chime outside is going crazy right now. So it's like, I don't know what's happening, Aquarians, but something big.
I didn't have a train all day. That's the only one.
Oh, all day. Wow. It's the first time where we hear the train.
Yeah.
And the wind chime.
Okay, something is really big this month for you. So I'm going to show you all the cards that I have. So the very first card was Think Big. And Julie, you were talking about the 4th house, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
4th house and 10th house are going to be the majorly activated.
Yeah. And we know that this is about the journey, and we know that this is about finding your sense of home, amongst other things. That's how I'm seeing this movie, clapping your heels together. There's no place like home, right? And we have the 3 of Swords, very heavy energy, 10 of Wands. So I was really hoping that 3rd card would be extremely positive for you guys. And it is. We have the Emperor in all of his glory and his power with the globe, which is rare for an Emperor to have the globe right there. It's also rare to have an Emperor that is standing and not an Emperor that is sitting down. So that means ready for action. That means that we are thinking about where in the world we want to travel or relocate or be in business with or connect with people. So I'm seeing that you may have had a lot of obstacles and it could have been pain and obstacles, honestly, in your path to achieve what you really want to achieve. So maybe in the past you had to say no to your dreams. Maybe in the past you had to sacrifice your own dreams for kids, for relationship, because it didn't make sense, for money, or whatever reason there was. And I'm seeing that it took you a very long time to be able to revisit your dreams. And I feel like this is the month where you're going to revisit them and make plans, making plans to connect with the right people, to see places, to do whatever is connected with your dream, to really make sense out of it, to see if it's plausible, if it's doable, if you're able to make it happen right now. But you are not sitting down. You are in your power. You are ready for action, and you are feeling good about this. So it's about finding your power again. The one thing I really want you to also revisit is what this dream is about. So she has her back to the castle, so she's not looking at the castle. So it's also this Mercury retrograde energy here of, am I still wanting to go in the old dreams that I had, or do I want to modifying, to change it in some way, to create a new one? She's fully ready to go. There's no obstacles anymore on the path, but it's just about, do I really want this dream that way, or do I tweak things? So I think that you're done with sacrifice. I think that you're done with obstacles. Now it's clear path, and now it's about you making it happen.
Ooh, I love that, Aquarians. I absolutely love that. Let us know what you think in the comments below. I think you guys are going to have a surprising month, yes, but also a very empowering month, full of beautiful surprises. So our last one for Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising, let's talk about first the full moon in Taurus that we're going to have on November 5th. In Pisces, it's going to activate your 3rd house of communication. So there is this culmination of energy around an important communication or a conversation that you will likely have around November 5th. It could also be news coming to you. And also Venus, which is the ruler of this full moon, is sitting right now in your 8th house. So there is this energy, and Venus is also part of two major aspects at this time. And it calls for making decisions surrounding themes of money or relationships. And with Venus in Libra right now in your 8th house, I love that there is this energy of like healing relationship, but also having first, before the healing, the relationship triggers in order to let you know what you need to look at, what is there for you to heal. 8th house is a very healing house. But Venus is very front and center at the time of this full moon. So likely conversations around like needing to, let's say, heal relationships, needing to harmonize relationship. And also it could be surrounding financial matters because it's also the 8th house with Venus. So having important conversations about finances. And also at the same time, we have Mars opposing Uranus in your 4th and 10th. So there could be sudden shifts regarding your personal life or professional life, and also having to make swift decisions regarding that because those are going to be shifting around beginning of November, and you'll need to likely adapt both. So now, after that, we have Mercury going retrograde on November 9th until November 29th. And first, it will be in your 10th house of career, and then it will shift into your 9th house of international beliefs, spirituality. So first, the first part of that Mercury retrograde for you Pisces is all going to be about reviewing career goals, reviewing your aspirations, your work projects, maybe going back to old work projects, or remembering that you used to want to do that before in your career and now getting the opportunity to go back to certain projects that were inspiring for you. And then the second part of that Mercury retrograde will be about reviewing 9 house themes, which are travel plans, relocation plans, legal documents, anything that deals with the international foreigners, legal. So you'll have to review that, and also your perspective on things could likely shift because it's a very psychological house. Also, it's about mindset. It's about your beliefs. So you'll have to really stay open-minded because those things can be changing. And both Sagittarius and the 9th house are also about the future. So changing your perspective and allowing a different maybe timeline to unfold. And then on 11/11, your traditional ruler, which is Jupiter, is turning retrograde in the sign of Cancer in your 5th house. So your 5th house is about fun, vacation, romance, children, creative projects. So you might go back to old opportunities with that Jupiter going retrograde, old creative projects, old hobbies, and really think about like the combination of spirituality, of like having faith, believing in something, but also of filling your own well with the 5th house, what recharges you. And then lastly, on November 20th, we have this new moon in Scorpio in your 9th house, which is a beautiful place to have this new moon in Scorpio. And it's conjunct that Mercury retrograde. So we're opening up a new cycle in Scorpio, yet with an element of the past with that Mercury retrograde. And it's opposing Uranus, which is calling for sudden shifts, unexpected announcements. So you might receive sudden news that make you change your perspective on your things, on your plans. So just be open to potentially changing your plans. It's happening in your 9th house. So there could be a new start with travel, relocation, international matters, legal matters, teaching, higher learning, spirituality, beliefs, faith. These are all part of the 9th house. So there is a new start with an element of the past there in your 9th house around the November 20th. So also you could be restarting an already existing project with a new mindset with that Mercury retrograde, and having to pivot quickly because there is this opposition to Uranus, adapt to new circumstances, embrace change. And the beautiful thing for you Pisces specifically, it's that it's trining, this new moon is trining your planet Neptune, which is with Saturn in your sign in Pisces. So it's like saying you are able to go with the flow, get help from your guides, get help from your higher self. Just make sure that you connect. You take the time to connect, to meditate, to have those spiritual practices to help you guide you, and you are protected. So let's look at the cards for Pisces.
Okay, let's see what we have for this month. So your card of the month is Stay Truthful and Brave. Okay, let's see what we have with tarot. So we have Page of Pentacle. We have 10 of Pentacles. Wow. And we have 7 of Cups. So the 7 of Cups is normal. We have Neptune and Pisces, like Julie said. This is 12th house, or?
Well, it depends.
Yeah. Okay. So what we have...
It's likely your first house if you are Pisces rising, but it can be your 12th.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So what we have there is completely normal because of this fog of disillusion with Neptune and Pisces. Completely okay. What it means is, as long as you follow your own truth, as long as you are being brave, you don't do things because you want to escape Pisces energy. You don't do things because you don't want to look at the truth. But as long as you're brave and as long as you're truthful, no matter what is presenting to you, you're going to stay on your path. You're going to continue to grow and build structure for the long term. We have 10 of Pentacles. So you could continue to have an amazing growth in your career, in your family life, in whatever you're trying to build. But you do need to not go to the natural reflex of Pisces, which is escaping, which is numbing ourselves to escape reality one way or another. So this is the tendency of Pisces. Neptune in Pisces, I would say it probably makes that even bigger tendencies, right?
Yep, definitely. Until February of next year.
So as long as you're truthful, as long as you're ready to face the truth, as long as you're willing to be brave, you're going to be okay. This is a month where you're not going to see clearly what is happening. You're just not. So that's why you have to stay with your values. Let me take 2 more cards for you guys. We have the Tower. Almost everybody had the Tower in this month. I think that this is a month that is it's Scorpio energy. This is death and rebirth energy. It is a month where there's a huge potential of removing out of your way major obstacles, major things that are draining you. So use it. But for you, Pisces, is going to be through not really seeing what is happening, not truly being aware of everything, but just keep your path. Continue with your values. The last card for you is Justice. Exactly. So keep your path. I'm just seeing like driving in a lot of fog. So you just see the little bit of road in front of you. You continue on this little bit of road in front of you, and you just focus on that one step at a time. You don't make too much plans for the future at this moment because we don't have clarity. You are not going to see the full picture, but just that little piece of the road that you can see, that's what you focus on to stay on, and you're going to be amazing.
Woo, I love that. And also, like, I feel like for everyone, of course, because this is Mercury retrograde during November, but especially for Pisces, I feel like there is this strong energy of the past coming back for you to really get closure with certain things. So, yeah, and like you have both of your rulers that are retrograde.
Yeah.
Neptune is in your sign, and Jupiter will turn retrograde on the 11/11 in other fellow water signs. So and plus Mercury retrograde. So a lot about like reviewing things from the past. So
and maybe not having clarity again with Mercury retrograde and Neptune and Pisces. So yeah.
But the gift of that is to turn inward. So the answers are not going to be outside of you. They're going to be inside of you. So take the time to connect, go inwards, do some introspection practices. And I think Pisces can excel at that. So I hope you guys will have an amazing month of November, very introspective, but yet very constructive. Let us know in the comments if you resonate with that, and do make sure you like. It really helps support the channel. And thank you, everyone. We are sending you so much love for this month of November, and we will see you very soon. Bye, everyone.